Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks, sweetie angel. Love you. How's it going, guys? I'm back at the pipeline, same location as our last video. It is crazy day today. The waves are enormous. Swimming is not even allowed today. So the waves might be a little noisy, but bear with me. I got my mic out and hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. The lighting in our house is really, really bad. And so, you know, beaches in your backyard, might as well go, right? Anyways. Okay. So as a lot of you guys may already know, I posted it on my YouTube, not as a video, but as an actual post. The original Japan gang is heading back to Japan this December. We've been planning our trip already, kind of getting the itinerary together, and Japan has changed a lot since we were able to last visit. I mean, it's been 3-ish years since we were allowed to travel there because of the COVID restrictions, and you guys know it's been tough. So since we're planning our trip, I figured that I would make a video talking about some of the cool new places that we're excited to visit. Maybe you can add them to your future itinerary, and then just some general tips to make Japan travel smoother. The people that have been watching my channel since day one know that I'm a die-hard Pokemon fan. I've played most of the games, I have the trading cards, I got super into the trading card game itself for a while back. I made my wife get into it with me. The Sunshine City Pokemon Center, which has been featured in one of my previous videos, has undergone a huge expansion since we last visited, including a Pikachu dessert cafe. Haven't visited them ever before. I know that they've had like Pokemon cafes and whatnot, maybe in the past, but this Pikachu dessert cafe is totally new to us. I looked on the menu a little bit, and all of the items are super cute. I'll insert some pictures of them on screen, but we're super excited for that. I may be alone in the Japan crew in my Pokemon diehard fandom, but it's still a really cool sight to see for casual Pokemon fans and people who may not even been into Pokemon when they were younger, like most of my friends. So be expecting a full tour of the Sunshine City Pokemon Center and Pikachu Dessert Cafe. Little fun fact, little Beltree fun fact for you. Back when I was about, maybe I was 16, we went on a trip to Japan and we visited Odaiba, which is where the Unicorn Gundam statue is. There's a lot of really cool stuff in that area, but we actually never published the video. We filmed a lot while we were there, but we just got caught up, we got busy, and we never actually edited and put out the video of us in Odaiba. Anyways, when we visited Odaiba, there was a place we went to called Teamlab Art Museum, and basically it's a fully immersive interactive art museum. I did post a couple pictures on Instagram from when we visited, but there was never a full-length video. But this place was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. It's a fully immersive art museum, just like it says. You yourself walk into the exhibits. There's even a place where you take off your shoes and wade around in water, and it was just amazing. Once COVID happened, that location in Odaiba actually ended up shutting down. And when I heard that, I was totally bummed out because that was a super awesome attraction and I would have loved to go back. But then I get word that there's another attraction by Teamlab, and it's called Teamlab Planets. And it's another fully interactive art museum. I've checked out the website a few times just to see what kind of attractions they have, and it looks amazing. I'm super excited for this. That is one that I highly recommend. I haven't visited this one personally, but just from visiting the last one in Odaiba, I would recommend this to anybody traveling to Japan. The tickets are about 3,100 yen, which is roughly $21 US at the moment, and you can purchase them online. So it really isn't that much for what you're getting. It's a super awesome experience, and I'll put a link to the website in the description.
What is this place?
So, while I'm on the topic of nerd stuff, let me tell you about Shibuya Parco. Shibuya Parco is a shopping mall that was actually under renovation for a few years, I think 3 years about. And it's actually been open for a while now, but since tourists haven't been allowed in to Japan, we haven't really been able to visit Shibuya Parco. So it's completely newly renovated. It looks amazing just from pictures. In Shibuya Parco, they have a Nintendo store, a jump shop, a Pokemon center with a life-size Mewtwo statue, and a few other really cool and quirky shops that I'm excited to visit. It's raining, so hopefully my camera's okay. Hang in there, camera. Guys, I might have to cut right here. It's actually raining right now, so yeah. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm back. We had a little bit of a rain incident, but now I'm back at Pipeline. Much sunnier day, the waves are calmer. I even jumped in myself. And so, last I left off, I was talking about the helpful tips. I think we had just gotten through some of the exciting places. I think I talked about 3 of them, and then I was gonna move on to the tips and the helpful things to know for your next trip to Japan. So first things first, internet. Your internet provider is not gonna work when you go to Japan, obviously. So you're gonna need a way to communicate with the people you're traveling with, or, you know, get access to the internet, all those things. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. There are SIM cards that you can rent, and that gives you the ability to call as well as surf the web and do all those things. Or you can just rent a pocket Wi-Fi. And in our experience, pocket Wi-Fi has kind of been the way to go. There's a company that we've used every time we've traveled to Japan. They have a service just right there in the airport. They're called iVideo, and I'll just put the link to their website in the description. I am not sponsored by any of these websites or services I'm listing off. I just think they're convenient, and they're the ones that we've used every time. So yeah, not sponsored. Okay, my mic went out a little bit ago, and I don't know at what point it stopped. It looks like the battery's dying. Yeah, I'm not sure when that crapped out, but I guess the universe really doesn't want this video to be put out. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to succeed on your Japan trip. It says a lot about our society. In the middle of yesterday's filming, my recorder here ran out of batteries. Starting fresh today, 3rd time's a charm. Let's talk a little bit about transport. There's 2 ways to get to central Tokyo from either Narita Airport or Haneda. You either have the friendly airport limousine, which is about $30, I think, a person, or you have the 2 railways, and that's gonna be either the NXT or the Skyliner railway. And I'll put links to those websites and more information on those in the description. The friendly airport limousine, I know you can book tickets in advance, and I'll put a link to their website as well. But this is gonna be your best option because in Japan, stuff like Uber and those like ride sharing apps aren't as big. Only the Uber Black service is really available in Japan, and that's pretty expensive. I mean, we're talking upwards of $60 to $100 for a ride. And so instead of wasting your money on that, you can save money on the very clean and very nice public transportation that Japan offers. It's one of the things that makes Japan so great in the first place. So I'll put info in the description. Be sure to check that out because it's going to be your best option to get to central Tokyo. And then from there, the JR Rail goes everywhere. Now let's talk about the Japan Rail Pass. So basically what the Japan Rail Pass is, it's a one-time payment. You pay, I think it's $213 for an adult, and you get unlimited access to the JR Railway. Now that's not every single rail in Japan, but JR is pretty widespread. So it's unlimited access to all those railways, and you don't have to pay for each individual ride and like load up a Suica card. And it ends up pretty much paying for itself, as you would have to pay anyways. And then it gives you also a good excuse to travel all around Japan just because you can, you know? You can hop on any train and just take it as far as you want. When you're getting on a train, you flash them your card and you're good to go. So definitely get those in advance. You can buy them online. I'll link that website as well. And then you can pick them up at a JR station. And if you're wondering, is it worth it for me to get a JR pass? There's actually a very handy calculator online that they offer, and you can like input all the places that you want to visit and the, you know, hotspots that you want to hit during your trip, and it will calculate and tell you if it's worth it. Just for a moment, let's talk accommodations. Japan has everything ranging from luxury hotels to capsule hotels. We usually like to book with Airbnb. Not only is it usually cheaper, especially if you're traveling with a group, but it also kind of gives you a really cool taste of Japan culture. A lot of the places that we've stayed in are just houses that people have bought and converted into Airbnbs. Years ago, we stayed in one that was like traditional Japanese. It had like a rock garden at the entrance. It was super cool and it was way old, and it had like the tatami mats. You just don't get that at every hotel that you'll stay in. One other thing that's super handy about Airbnbs is that usually they come with a washer dryer, just depending on where you're staying. And that means you can pack light and kind of wash clothes as you go. Saves you money on checking bags. We usually just do one carry-on per person and just try to pack as light as humanly possible. So that's another super handy thing to remember. So those are a few tips. There's one last thing I want to say. If this is your first time visiting and you've been saving your money and you want to just splurge a little bit, there's a couple splurges I would recommend. Number one recommendation, 100% would recommend to anybody, stay at a ryokan. They're the traditional Japanese hotels, and they offer, usually, depending on which one you stay in, they offer a kaiseki, which is a multi-level meal, traditional Japanese meal, that's brought out in different phases. Amazing taste of culture and amazing food. And then they also usually offer onsen, and depending on which one you're at, there's public onsen and some even have private onsen, and you can just like unwind, experience the onsen in Japan, which is an amazing cultural thing that we don't have. The other splurge I can highly recommend is a Kobe beef dinner. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Kobe, but if you're gonna splurge, food is a great place to do it. We went to an amazing Kobe beef dinner and it was about $50 or $60 per person. So it was a little bit pricier, but honestly for what you're getting, that's not that much. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Thank you so much for the support on that last video. We had so much fun making that. Please continue to like the videos, comment, subscribe, share the videos to anyone that is planning a trip to Japan or just has interest. And we will see you guys next time.